There you go. We back now. We all good. I just hit the sound button. We should be good now. Thank y'all for letting me know. Shout out to everybody that's joining. We are live. We're going to go in and appreciate you for joining and being a part of this show. Woo! Let's get one of them things. You already know Guru's going to keep it real. It's going to be raw. I'm going to be full of energy. Chef Ron in the house. Appreciate you, Chef Ron. I'm going to hit you with nothing but truth. Put your seatbelt on and let's go. We about to get this thing going. Shout out to Brother Turner already for the super chat. My brother, appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting this live show. We got the people over here watching on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook channel. We're going to talk about this subject tonight. I got a whole lot to say about it, but not a lot of time to say it. People who are watching right now on the Facebook channel, you will have about 15 minutes or so, and then I will end the stream there, and we will keep going over to the Instagram channel. You'll have to go over to the YouTube channel and definitely watch. Shout out to my Muslim brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. Iman, thank you so much. Appreciate you as always. Let's go. I have a question. If you're watching, I have a question. And I don't know if this is an excuse or not. I don't know if it's an excuse, but I want to know why does it seem like so many women that have failed relationships from when they were younger, why do they blame it on their youth? They had failed relationships when they were young. I want to know why they blame it on their youth. I talked to a whole lot of men and a whole lot of women over the last 2.5 years. And it seems like most of the time the women blame it on being young. It didn't work out because I was young. I messed up. I got pregnant by a man. I shouldn't have been with him because I was young. Most of the time it's because they were young. Shout out to Tasia. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. T said it's a cop out. Is it a cop out? Is it a cop out? Is it an excuse? Is it legitimate? That's the question of the night. Is it a legitimate reason? Is it legitimate? You can request up to come up right now and answer this question too if you're watching right now over on the Facebook channel. You can request up and come and tell me, is it a legitimate reason that you were young? That's why things didn't work out? Because what else were you doing when you were young? When you were coming up young, what else were you doing? A lot of times, if you was out there, you was screwing. You were screwing, you was having fun. You were running the streets. You were doing other stuff that you weren't supposed to be doing. So why is it that the relationship, you blame that on because you were young? And why don't men say that it didn't work with the woman when they were young because they were too young? Why don't men usually say that? That's a good question to ask. Why is this something that's exclusive to women? Chris said they weren't too young to be out there busting it wide open. That's facts. That's facts. You're not too young to be out there busting it wide open. And especially what they got today. They're not too young to be all the things that these girls is doing on social media today. Social media has been out for a while now. And even before social media, a lot of them were sharing pictures. Y'all know back in the day before social media was popular like it is now, all the pictures that were shared, right? The rumors, we didn't have pictures like that. The rumors, the rumblings that went around the school, the different halls, classrooms about so-and-so was doing this, so-and-so was doing that. Come on now. Troy said they're still making the same mistakes from their teens to their 40s and 50s. That's facts. Making the same mistakes that you were making in your teenage years in high school. Troy said you still making them in your 40s, 50s. Brother Turner said still a wreck. Why are you a wreck? Mr. Gino, shout out for the super chat over on YouTube, said it's a woman's nature to lie first always. Is that true? I know I got some women listening tonight. Why don't y'all come and tell me, is that true? Why do y'all like to lie? Why do y'all like to play the blame game? Why can't y'all never say it was me? I was hot in my behind and I wanted to explore and experiment and see what it was like out there to do different things with different men. Come on now. I'm talking. Come on now. I guarantee you, as you age, you're not going to let that be an excuse that your children can make. Mama, I'm young. Let me go. Let me be in these streets. Let me screw. What if your daughter, if you are a woman, what if your daughter came to you and said, Mama, I'm young. Let me be with one of these no good dudes out here and let me screw. What if she say that? What are you going to say to her? Come on, Guru. Woo! Let me go out here and do this.
You gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Mama, can I just go and spit on that thing? Come on, Mama, just give me the permission. Will you teach? Why don't you teach her? Why don't y'all teach? Teach your daughters how to spit on that thing. Teach them how to do it. Why? If the excuse is that you was young, shout out to Circus that finally caught alive. Appreciate you for being here. If the excuse was that you was young, why not let your daughters make that same excuse when it's time for them to do it? Let them spit on that thing. Why don't you teach them what to do? Why don't you teach? I couldn't believe it. I seen today, they got some woman, she got millions of followers. She teaches women how to do stuff in the bedroom. She all over Instagram, teach them how to. I said, my God. Just let this stuff go on there because she's teaching them with their clothes on, how to ride on a man and do different things like that. Why don't you do that with your daughter then? If it's okay while you're young, why not let your daughter see you do that? Why don't you show your daughter how to work it? Come on, Guru. You funny. I sometimes I gotta laugh. Internally, I'm just laughing at my own self right now. Show your daughter how to work her hips. Come on now. Where y'all at? Let me post this link to join as a guest. Here you go. If you're watching right now over on the YouTube channel, you want to join as a guest, just click on that link and I will see you. And you can join and come up and tell me that. You can join and come up and tell it. Chris said they go out here, mess around, have Chad and Tyrone's kids, didn't expect another man to take them and their child. When they don't get to make that choice, yeah. Ron said, I've dated a woman that let me hit. And they're making all that noise. I felt just to make sure their daughters could hear it. My God. Brother, they got the kids in the other room and you want to make sure their daughters hear what you doing to their mama. That's diabolical. My goodness. Yeah, come on now. If that's the reasoning and the excuse that you was young, come on. Why can't your daughters use that excuse? Why can't they do it? What about your sons? What if your son came to you with his little young and he said, Mama, right? Because like I said, men don't typically make this excuse or give this as a reason. But what if your son came to you and said, Mama, I'm young. I want to get out here and screw and see what it's like. I want to get in a relationship with a girl and I want to screw her real good all the time. Huh? Because y'all ain't coming and telling me, Guru, we was in relationships, but we wasn't doing nothing and the relationship failed. I don't think I've really heard that one. I don't think I've heard a woman come on my I've talked to thousands of women over the last 2.5 years, and I don't think I've heard a woman come to my show and tell me, Guru, it didn't work out, but we wasn't screwing. We was young. It didn't work out, but we wasn't screwing either. I don't think I've had one woman tell me that. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that y'all can't come and tell me? Why is it women are not coming and saying we was keeping ourselves, our hands and our private parts to ourselves, and it still didn't work? No, you know why? Because normally I've heard more say that it worked out. I was with this man in high school. Now we didn't do nothing. We kept ourselves. And then we got married once we got out of high school, or once we got into college or got out of college. We stayed together that whole time. We got married. Why is that not y'all's story? Come on now. People over here on the Facebook channel, you're going to have to go over to my YouTube channel. Go search for me on YouTube to continue watching this stream. I'm getting ready to bring the people over on the Instagram. So if you want to watch this content, if you're over on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook channel, go over to YouTube. Go right now, because I'm getting ready to end this stream. This is just a preview that I'm doing. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's about to happen, because I know there's going to be some women, especially over there on Instagram, that have a lot to say. Y'all, some older women over here on Facebook, y'all probably just trying to figure out how the thing even works. I know how y'all is over here watching me on Facebook. Y'all trying to figure out how the app work and how this, am I in the live stream? Is he actually live right now? Or is this a pre-recorded video? Yeah, I don't even know what's going on. Go over to YouTube if you're watching on Facebook right now. My God. Have a good night. If you're not going to watch any more of it, have a good night. All right, folks, I'm getting ready to bring over the people on the Instagram channel. We still going to talk about this thing right here. Let me bring them over. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Miss Lisa. Thank you so much for the PayPal donation. I did get it. Shout out to Miss Lisa. Thank you.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me. Put some money in, stupid ass.
Donations. Shout out to Miss Lisa. All right, folks. We bringing in the people. You already know this stream is about to get wild. We know some women gonna come in here talking crazy. I just went live right now on the Instagram. We good. We going now. Let's go. T, you said that's weird. What's weird? Teaching your daughters how to screw? Why is that weird? If the excuse that a lot of y'all use is that y'all was young, why is it weird to teach your daughters? Huh? Come on now. Y'all teach them how to twerk. All you gotta do is tell them, hey, then when you take your clothes off, you just gonna do the same movement on a man's pee-pee. Come on now, Guru. Why y'all not teaching this stuff to y'all daughters? All right, to the people that have joined over here on the Instagram channel, this is a topic you do not teach your daughters how to twerk. Really? A lot of y'all women, especially today, don't be coming in here and telling no lies. A lot of y'all women, good evening. A lot of y'all be playing music in the background, doing little dances and different things, shaking your behind. And how in the hell are you going to tell me that your daughters are not watching and picking up on that? They picking up on any type of movement that you do with your ass. I'm 21. I got a question. Why dudes in their 30s act like they don't want a young bitch, knowing we more submissive than older girls? because we too young or what? Cause I cook and clean and listen. Demon Soaker. First of all, come on up here. Come on up here. I'll answer your question. Come on up. Come on up here. Oh, she declined. So she asked me, why do dudes in their 30s be acting like they don't want a young bitch? You're 21 and you want to know why dudes. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to answer none of it. I'm not going to answer that question. Since you don't want to come up here, you can't be a woman. I'm definitely not going to answer your question. And for you to call yourself a young bitch and your name is Demon Soaker, this generation is gone and lost, folks. Facts, brother Turner said that they don't even know their ABCs and these girls know how to twerk these days. That's facts. My question again is why? Here's the question I want to ask y'all over here on it. Why do a lot of y'all women use this as an excuse, or maybe you don't think it's an excuse, when y'all say y'all were young? That's why things didn't work out with the relationship. Why do y'all use that as an excuse? Why do y'all tell that? Why do y'all say that? Huh? There's a lot of other stuff you weren't too young to do. Lisa said, took my daughter out of cheerleading because they had young teens in basically panties twerking. Yeah, good. I'm glad you took her up out of there. Yeah, they in panties twerking. Get her up out of there. Wish I would. I'll have any of my daughters wearing anything where they panties is gonna show. Coochie and twerking and all of this stuff. They done lost their mind. Keep mine on a tight leash. Make sure they can't do, they don't even need to be seeing none of that stuff. Naive and inexperienced, not mature. Oh, really? So if that's the excuse, why don't y'all let men have any leeway? That's my question for y'all women. Why can't men have any leeway when it comes to that? Why can't a man say, hey, you know what? I was young and I was out here just busting it all open for all kind of women. And why don't y'all let them do that? Why don't y'all let them get away? They was busting on all kind of women, busting inside of all kind of women. Why can't they get away with that? And y'all say y'all relationships didn't work. How come y'all don't preserve y'all body? How come y'all can't hold y'all crotch to y'allself? How come y'all can't wait on marriage? Because a lot of these narratives and themes, they blame on men. Come on now. A lot of this stuff they blame on the men. They say men can't keep their penis in their pants. Men can't do that. But what about y'all? What about you? What about you? How come you couldn't keep your stuff together? Huh? Come on now. Where y'all at? You don't want to talk now. Guru didn't figure, I didn't crack the code. I didn't bust the case wide open. I didn't figure y'all out. The bullshit that y'all say in order to try to make it seem like y'all were just young, didn't know what y'all were doing and shouldn't have been doing that. Hell, y'all sitting up there long. A lot of y'all be doing this stuff into your 40s, like the brother said, 50s, 60s even. I've talked to women in their 60s still making the same mistakes or choices, rather. They ain't no mistakes no more. That's just what you choose to do. Woman that came on my show last night talking about she out here, she looked like she was at least in her 40s, talking about all she's finding is men that got a thing that's too small for her thing. And she don't want them because they're around 5 and 6 inches and she wants something bigger than 5 and 6 inches. I told her that's the average size of a man. 5 and 6 inches. That's the average size of a man. What are y'all here teaching y'all daughters? Do y'all teach, where the women at tonight? Do y'all teach and tell y'all daughters it's okay to do whatever you want to do because you young? Do y'all teach that to y'all daughters? Come on now. Can y'all answer that question for me? Do y'all teach that to y'all daughters? The fact that they young and they can be able to do whatever they want. My daughter's a preschool teacher and a 4-year-old was twerking on a chair. My daughter asked her, where did you learn that? The 4-year-old said, I got to feed my babies. Apparently, that's what her mom said. Wow. Did y'all hear that? This lady just said a 4-year-old was twerking at the preschool. The preschool teacher asked, where'd you learn that from? And the little 4-year-old said, I got to feed my babies. This is the society. Folks, if you're watching over on the YouTube channel, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button for me real quick. Let's go. Do y'all hear me? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Yes, fathers are definitely necessary. But my thing is I think that they want to use this excuse that they were young because that's what y'all like. Let's be real. Let's tell the truth. Now I'm really going to hit y'all right now. I'm going to hit y'all hard. That's just what y'all like. Y'all don't want the straight and narrow man that wants, because you do the same things when you get older. Y'all don't want the man that's going to wait on you and want to wait to marry you and want you to be a good girl. I don't want to be no good girl. Come on now. Y'all don't want the man that's telling you like, hey, let's just go hang out. Let's go to the library. Let's just go chill. That's boring. Y'all don't want that. Come on now. You don't want to see the man. That's why they like the older guys. A lot of these girls is like, they want the man that got a car. You want them to have some type of money, be able to take you somewhere, because the little free things, nah, that's not going to do it for you. You need to figure out a way to get his hands on some money. Need to figure out a way to have some nicer gear, some nicer clothes or whatever, right? Come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real. Huh? That's not me. You love to read books. Most of y'all ain't reading no books. Most of y'all don't want to go to, y'all don't want to chill. Y'all not trying to go, listen to the men that's watching. They're not trying to go to no park and have no picnic. They trying to go and secretly sip on some liquor and suck some stick. Ooh. What's going on, brother?
What's good, man?
How you doing this evening?
Good, man.
Talk to me. What's going on?
Yeah, what's the title of your show? I just joined in.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fact that they say that they were young. A lot of women use this as a reason why their relationships didn't work out. But I said men typically don't say that. They don't say it didn't work out with me and the first woman I was with, or me and my first child's mother, or whoever. They don't say because they were young. So I'm trying to figure out, why is this a reason that women use and men don't typically use this?
Because society let women behave as a retarded person, so they give women the same title as as someone in school, like, he can't talk, he's like walking, basically retarded. So they because you got to understand, they use the woman to destroy the man and the kids, especially the black woman. So society, they know who to use. The devil know who to use.
Wait. You're saying that society lets women be stupid or behave stupid?
Yeah. 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 Women is not hold accountable. Me and you would be held accountable for anything we do.
So you're just saying they can say, basically they can just say whatever. They can just make something up and they can just say, hey, the reason why this didn't work or I messed up here is because of this. They can just say that and it's fine.
Yeah, people are gonna allow them to do that. But if me and you do that, it's not gonna slide.
So men don't say it or use it because it's not going to slide. But women, okay, so I hear what you're saying. Okay, so let me ask you this. I hear what you try to say. Why don't they teach or allow their daughters or their children to get away with saying, hey, I'm young, mama, let me do whatever I want to do. Let me go out or let me screw or let me be in a relationship with a guy that you wouldn't approve of. Let me do it because I'm young and you were young once. Why don't they let their daughters talk like that?
Sometimes they do let their daughters do that because there's
really?
like there's a episode on Soft White Underbelly. There's this 13-year-old. She was selling peace leave. I think she live in California. So now she's 14. But when she did the interview, she was 13. So she came back for a second interview. So now she's 14. Her mama kicked out the house when she was like 12, turning 13. You can look this up.
Okay.
This is some real life. So women do let their daughters,
So they do you're saying that they do let their daughters say, let me go and be free. I'm young.
Yeah, because you got to understand that they are jealous of their daughters. Their daughters got youth and got all the beauty that that they don't have no more. So they basically, women are jealous of their daughters, especially if the father is not in the house, if he's in prison or he's dead, or in drugs or whatever the situation is.
Okay. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming up and sharing that. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, folks. I need you to do me a favor. If you're watching right now on any platform, do me a favor and share this stream tonight with at least one or two people. Tell them they get, especially if it's a woman, tell her to get her ass up in here and listen to what this topic is about. Because I know so many of the women be using this as an excuse, talking about, I was young. So share this with a woman so that she can come in here and hear what is going on. What's going on? I appreciate you guys for joining over here on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. What's going on, brother?
Peace, brother. Yeah. Let me weigh in real quick.
Sure thing. Right. Let's hear what you got.
Man, yes, they are. And kind of what old brother said before me. Mm-hmm. Yes, the mothers actually egg them on. It's like they live vicariously through their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, due to the fact that they didn't have technology back in their day, they let their daughter, they even participate themselves in like a bunch of debauchery, like pictures. I literally just had a conversation with a girl maybe like 30 minutes ago. Got 3 kids by one dude, and she's telling me that the dude ain't no good. I'm like, man, go back to him. Like, he was a woman beater, but you chose him. And I'm like, where's your mother? Where's your father? Nobody can guide black women. Even the elders, they try not to guide black women. They lead each other down a bad hole. And my point being, let me go back to the moving the young people toward basically whoredom. As I said in the comments, black women at this point, they value the orgasm. Like, nothing matters more than the orgasm.
Careful,
like,
brother. Careful on the words.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't say certain words that'll trigger.
Okay, yeah, then the O.
Yeah.
So right now we're in there's no decorum. The parents don't tell them not to do it. They see the dude. The dude reminds them of the dude and her mother's young pastor. The mother eggs her on to go do a bunch of debauchery.
So you're telling me that they want their daughters out here doing? Do they want their sons out here doing this stuff too?
Oh no, they tell their sons to be nice guys because they're trying to turn the son into the dude that they wanted that never treated them right.
So they want the daughters, they egg them on to go be young and have fun, but they want their sons to be on good behavior.
Absolutely.
So what's the main reason? What's the benefit of allowing your daughter to go out there and be that way? What would be the benefit of that?
It's not really a benefit. Like the dude before me said, I feel like the mothers really don't like the daughters and they're in a competition with the daughters. And so based on what they didn't do in their past, you know what I mean? Even though they know they
don't want the daughter to be better than them.
Basically. That hits it right on the head, brother. Yeah. Like
that's deep.
It's almost like it's a curse.
They don't want their daughter. That's deep. They don't want the daughter to be better and do better than what they did. So if they were out there young and screwing and making all of these bad decisions and choices with different dudes that they knew they shouldn't have been with, jumping in and out of cars, doing all this stuff, then they okay with their daughters doing it because they don't want their daughter to be married, to be, that brings me to a thing right now. I have never really seen single mothers promote marriage to their children, especially to their daughters. I've never really seen it.
At all. Most of the girls
because they would be better, they would end up better off than the mother.
Most of the girls are doing exactly what they saw their mothers doing themselves. Most of them. 90% of them. Only thing that's changed is technology. Now they can record stuff.
That's deep. Brother, I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much for the insight.
Always, brother, always.
Have a good night. Folks, I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why. Notice that when we start hitting some of these things real deep, there's a reason why a lot of these women don't want to talk about this stuff. And thank you, Lisa, once again. I don't know if you heard me give you your shout out. I got your PayPal. Thank you for the contribution and supporting the Black Guru. There's a reason why a lot of these women don't want to discuss these type of topics, because it hits them. It hurts. They know they can't say nothing about it. What are you going to come up and say? What's wrong with us being young and doing everything the hell we want to do? A brother made a great point earlier. He said, a man doing stuff and ending up in prison at a young age, he can't say, oh, I was young. He can't use that as an excuse. Society will hold him accountable. You can't say he was young. That's the reason why he was robbing or whatever he was doing. He was getting into all kind of criminal acts because he was young. Men cannot say that. But y'all can. Y'all can. Think about that for a minute. Y'all can say that, but men cannot. What's going on, brother? Good evening.
What's up, Guru?
Good evening.
I got a question for you. It's on the topic though.
Yeah, what's going on?
So, for those of us out there who still want to, stay within our culture, right, our race, right? Do you think that? Well, because some people may think it's traitorous to abandon our sisters, whatever. Now, do you think that there is a solution to this? Because I agree with most, like what you're saying is just that. Do you think that there's a solution to move forward as far as within our culture to change some of these behaviors? You know what I'm saying? No.
And here's the reason why. The girls are not mature enough. Let's compare them to, let's say, women that are African women, right? Mm-hmm. they're not mature enough to behave or think like, let's say, a girl that was raised and brought up in Africa, let's say out in, not talking about a city girl in Africa, but someone who was raised outside of the city, right? That understands responsibility, understands her culture, understands what she's supposed to do as a woman. She'll be ready to marry at, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. She'll be good,
Yeah.
right? Even if you got with the women in the black culture, in the black community in America, even if you got with them at 18, a lot of them are already too far gone by even 18.
Mhm.
Even if you got with them right, soon as they hit 18, they're too far. They've been too influenced by the toxic music, all of the liquor, the substances, all of the stuff that's a part of the culture. All of that stuff, plus their mamas, the environment they grew up with, their mamas, environment they've been, a lot of them have run the streets. So you can't get them there. And we know the other thing hasn't worked. What has been the other option that men have been doing since like the 70s? Being stepfathers.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. They've been taking on, a lot of black men have taken on. I got a book right behind me about it that talks a lot about that. The men that have become the social fathers and the stepfathers or the step boyfriends of these women, right? Coming in after the fact, trying to raise another man's kids. You cannot raise another man's kids like that. It's not like it was. I mean, it's too rampant. There's a reason why even animals don't do this. They don't behave this way. In the animal kingdom, they don't try to raise another, no bird coming in and knocking off no other bird and saying, hey, bruh, I'm about to be with this woman and raise this bird.
Yeah, or if a new lion come in the prize.
Or a lion, yeah. They're going to get rid of them cubs.
They got to go.
Yeah, they're going to get rid of them cubs, right? So, you don't see this even in the animal kingdom. We're the only ones that do this mess. And especially in the black community, black men are known to take on children from other men and be sitting up in the house trying to raise those children, trying to tell them what to do. You don't get shit from that.
And don't get no credit for, because I've had some in my life. You know what I mean? A few of them that I appreciate. Not, I give them their flowers when I can, but that's me. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. That's not. Unfortunately, like, that's not my mom, or you feel me?
Yeah, and all they gonna get is, hey, you know what? I appreciate when you used to come around and try to talk to me like this and be, with my mom. That's the best you're gonna get. Hell no. Listen, a fool is somebody that gets the short end of the stick and is content with it. That's one way to look at a fool.
Yeah.
You get in the short end of the stick. You got other men out here that are with good, decent, honest women, right? That have built families with them, that have built Now listen, I want to look forward to the day that I'm a grandfather and I know this is what came from my loins.
Yeah. So you would say the solution is basically to be a passport, bro.
If you want to,
if that's what you want,
be with a black woman, if you want to keep it black, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Where can you go and find? I mean, because here's my question to you: where could you find? I mean, you're looking for a needle in a haystack, and I always put it this way: why not just go to a place where they sell a whole bunch of needles?
Gotcha.
Right. Because think about it. Because I've done this before. I've gone to certain stores and say, hey, I'm looking for this. Oh, I don't know if we have that. I think we might have. Well, I don't even do that. I just say, well, do you know a store nearby that sells all of those products? Oh yeah, you can go right across the street. They have all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I go across the street. I don't waste my time trying to look for all. Hell no, that's a waste of my time. I'm going to go across the street where they specialize in making and selling that specific product, right?
Yeah.
You want a BMW, don't go to a Honda dealer. Well, they might have a used BMW here somewhere, you know, on the dealership, a used one. No, just go to a BMW dealer. If you want a BMW, you want a Honda, go to a Honda dealer. Right? You're going to go where they manufacture these specific vehicles. I don't want to be in no place where, think about it. What are they manufacturing in America? What kind of women are they manufacturing?
Gotcha.
Especially in the black community. I'm asking you, what kind of women?
What's the word I'm looking for? Over sexualized women, women who can't cook, women who don't listen, women who feminist. That would be the word I guess I would pick. It's
are any of these things conducive for a
this.
marriage and a family?
No, we don't manufacture wives. No,
they're not good for marriage and family. So if you want black, I mean, they got black women all over the world. They're just not going to be American. I don't recommend it because you're just trying to find a needle in the haystack. Yes, there are some women that even frequent my life, right? That are decent women, and some of them are trying to get better or be better, right? And they ask me for advice and they ask me for help. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you see a lot of the women that come up, even those women, they've already had the woman last night. She got 4 kids by a man, 27 years old. And she still has her body is still in good shape, right? But from what I've seen on the pictures, but she got 4 kids.
Yeah, that's a lot.
What man is willing to take on 4? You're gonna have to feed those kids. Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna probably want some kids of your own by her. Imagine if you had 2 or 3 by her, and then she got 4 by this other dude. That's 7 kids.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of noise. That's a lot of stress over. And then you're going to end up, I guarantee you're probably not going to have. Think about this. This is crazy. Even if that became your woman or your wife, the likelihood, well, she has her tubes tied now, but let's say she didn't. The likelihood of you having more children than the man that she was with for 8 years and screwing and giving her body to and whatever, it's not likely that you're going to have more kids than 4.
Yeah.
It's not likely that you're going to even have 4 by her. She's already had all her children. That's why she got her tubes tied.
Yeah. And if something happened to you, if it do last and y'all do go the distance, something happened to you, then all the money that you done made gonna get split up between her kids. That man's kids is gonna get more.
Thank you. Because guess what? Exactly. Because guess what? Even if y'all lasted 15 years, right? And something happened to you, God forbid, then you're right. Now she gets the money and she's gonna make sure all those kids are taken care of. Mm-hmm. Your seed is not gonna be the priority. The priority is gonna be all her kids. 7 different ways, right? So, yeah, brother, I always recommend a man. I'm not against men getting with women that have children if they're really good women. One of the best women that I've ever been with in my lifetime, you know, and I'll leave you with this. I say it all the time. She was the divorced woman, but guess what? She had only been with one man in her whole lifetime. Things didn't work out. They were married for 15 years. Went to her house, immaculate condition. She had white carpet, white furniture, white bedding. Everything was spotless. She had an amazing job, plus took great care of the house. Kids were super well behaved. She had 3 children. But she did it all within marriage, and she had only been with one man. You're not finding women like that in the community, the black community. She wasn't black, by the way. She wasn't black.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't black. So, but I'm saying, like, you're not likely to find something like that in a black community. A woman who's been with one man. Now she, you know, and I think at the time she was like 40 years old. She was older than me. This was years ago. She was like 40 years old, been with one man 15 years, 3 children, and only have been with that one man. Not finding that.
Man.
So it's time to go, and especially if you want to build a family, you want to have legacy, you got to go.
Yeah.
You can't sit back. I mean, you want to keep trying to. We already know the stepfather route doesn't work, and then you're gonna try to find a needle in the haystack. These girls are not gonna come out ready to go as wives at 18 when some of them might have no bodies or low bodies. No, and I'm not willing. A man like me, I'm not willing to take on a woman with a high body count ever, or a whole bunch of kids. Hell no. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that one of the best solutions is just to go where they selling what you're looking for.
Go where they're selling. There you go. Go where they make, where they manufacture, where they sell what you're looking for. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming up.
No problem.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Folks, do me a favor if you haven't done it yet. If you're watching over here on the YouTube channel, hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Appreciate you in advance. Thank you, Leona. She said, Salaam alaikum. You must be doing well on your job. You always be sending me cash apps. Thank you, Leona, for the cash app. Folks, how close are we to our first hour? We got a little bit of time. Support the content. If you enjoy this type of content in these shows, support the content. I just posted my cash app again. I don't have my badges working, so everybody watching on the IG channel, you have to hit the cash app. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, hit the super chat. Let's go. Where y'all at tonight?
Donation. Donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me. Put some money in, stupid ass. Donation. Donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting
Donations.
money in, stupid ass.
Woo. Yeah, my badges are not working for whatever reason. IG took them out for now. Whatever. Probably some no good women hating and mad at me and found another way. Sometimes they be doing that, finding a way to mess up my platform so that I don't have the badges right now. Young woman come in the ER, 16 years old, with retained products, failed pregnancy. You know what, folks? Shout out to Miss Maxine, always a huge supporter and contributor of the Black Guru. Thank you so much for the super chat over here on the YouTube channel. Appreciate you. Thank you, sister, for supporting the show. Listen, y'all don't have to ever take accountability for what you did when you were young, but guess what? Nothing's ever going to change for you. Until you start taking accountability as a woman, men, we have no problem taking accountability. We have no problem saying we messed up. One of the brothers that I know, one of the Muslim brothers that I know that's doing some time right now. Lisa, yes, one day I will address single women moving boyfriends into the house. Yes, I will. I've addressed it before, but yes, I will bring that topic back up. One of the Muslim brothers I know, he is locked up right now. And he says, let me tell you this. He says that he knows and he takes accountability for messing up as many times as he messed up in life. Getting locked up, not being there for his children, things of this nature. Never heard that brother say, brother, I'm locked up right now because, you know, I was young. I was young. Y'all always do that. Y'all were young. Shout out to Van. Thank you so much, Van, for the Cash App. We're getting closer to the goal, folks. Let's go support this content. If you think this is good content and you value it, hit the Cash App. Black Guru 2, Black Guru 2, Authentic 528. Shout out to you for the super chat. Appreciate you. And y'all can write me a message too if y'all ever want to write messages. No problem, especially when you send a super chat over on the YouTube channel. I will read your message. Men, we do a hell of a much better job of taking accountability for what we did when we were younger. That's why I think more men are able to turn their life around. I think more men are able to mature, I really do, than women. Because we take accountability. We can look at our mistakes. We can look at our past actions. We see where we failed and flunked. We see these things. And the thing is, I don't think that y'all do.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, brother? It's like poison to a lot of y'all when y'all are trying to take accountability. What you got for me on the topic?
No, I was just gonna react on the topic being toxic about accepting like accountability. It's true that I feel like men do accept accountability faster than a woman.
Yeah,
But
and you know what's
we-
crazy? You know what's crazy is that they love to say that women mature faster. Women mature faster than men. They're more mature. I don't buy that, because if one sign of being mature is taking accountability, and also you can look at what they post on social media. A lot of women post a lot of bullshit on social media with them looking for attention seeking. Attention seeking is a sign of a lack of maturity.
Yes, I feel so. It's true. I just met this girl like 2 weeks ago, and it's not that she was looking for attention, but yes, we are at the gym, and I mean, like, she was wearing something really, really, something that made her really attractive, and I can see her getting closer by the minute, like working out closer to me, and we start speaking, we start talking. We had a whole conversation for 2 hours, and I thought I kind of got to know the person for a minute. But then, I mean, through the texts, it wasn't that she wasn't responding or something. It was just, I don't know, it's an energy thing, and she was talking about toxicity, life made her toxic because man did this and that, where it's like nothing that she said off the conversation was her fault. So everything someone else did, and I was like,
How old do you think she was?
She's 27. She has no kids. She's still studying in school. She lives in.
At what point are they no longer? Let me ask you this as a man. At what point would you consider a woman no longer young? When she's 30, 35, 40, what would you consider her not to be young anymore? What age?
Like you said, woman, like they mature faster than a man. So I believe a real woman would know who she is around the age of 23 years old, coming up
23
to 25, 23 to 26.
Okay, let's call it 25. So by 25 years old, like the brother is saying, you're no longer young. But we know a lot of them, they still listen. I've had so many women. There was a woman on my show last night that was listening to the girl talk at 29 years old. She actually wrote in a comment. She said, "Oh, that's a baby. She's young. She's still young. She's a baby." These women, these older women are calling girls babies at 29 years old.
That's
How in the
crazy,
hell
bro.
is it?
Like,
Would
for
you
real.
call a man a baby, 29-year-old man a baby? What the hell is wrong with these women?
That's a grown ass man. I mean, come on now. He's supposed to have his life straight. I mean, it's just that I understand a lot of people go through different things. We have our own life experiences, and it's like it's different in Europe than I've been living here for 25 years, and so it's different than Europe than America. But because I've been to Atlanta, Miami, Florida, Orlando, so I went out, and I do believe the women in America think a lot different than the woman in Europe.
I agree.
And in the sense of
I agree.
in the sense of be independent on a man. Like the women in Europe are really independent. They got their own. They know life in Europe is not easy. It's not like America. You can most of these girls just mount the OnlyFans and they just like they can make a lot of money. But in Europe, it's different. We don't use Cash App. We don't use Zelle. We don't use none of these transactionables. We use difficult things like PayPal or other means to pay, right? And it's not easy like a Cash App. You just put a person name in, boom, 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 send them $10, send them $50 or $20, whatever. We don't have that type of system. So if you really want to give a girl something over here, you really got to make a bank, like something with a bank, or you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like it's easier access in America to get access to that type of situation of giving a girl money than in Europe. In Europe, they really gotta do their best. They really gotta show you that, because men over here they ain't stupid. Like, I don't say American people are stupid. I'm not saying that. I'm saying some people are easy. Are easy to treat a woman right away. Like, yeah, baby, come, I'm gonna pay your bills.
Have you ever been with an American woman? Have you ever been with an American woman?
Yes, I have. Couple, actually. Yeah, of course.
Do you think they're more mature? Do you think they're more mature than European women?
I mean, I could say some of them are on that level, but they are really in their 30s and like in 35s and stuff. These are women that are grown already, that have kids and have been through 2 or 3 baby daddies that I feel like, no, this is not working like this. And they're just independent now. They're not feminists, but they are more independent than anything, or at least that's what they're trying to show in the beginning. Like, I'm independent, I got my own house, I got my own car, I pay my own bills. But at least they say it a lot too. They be like, I'm independent. Like, it's you, it's your kids. Who gotta take care of them? You know what I'm saying? Well, this is you're doing.
Yeah, brother. No,
I mean,
I hear you.
You got a responsibility on that part, of course.
Brother,
I feel like because I got
hear
kids.
I hear you. Brother, I appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you for visiting the show again. Salute
no problem,
to you,
bro. I'm going to keep watching.
Have a good night. All right.
Thanks, bro.
All right. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Let me unmute myself. Good evening. What's good, Guru? How's it going?
Going well. Have I spoke to you before?
No, you haven't. You haven't. This is my first time pulling up here, just checking it out. Like, I want to say, because I can jump right into it. I see the question. That's if you don't mind. So, because I know you have folks always trying to chime in and jump in. So, you said, were you too young for your for your past relationship? Yeah, because when I re-examined when I got married compared to everybody in my crew, that's the church aspect of me. So when I got married when I was 26. And so I'm like, I'm out of college now. I think I'm kind of grown. But then I reflect and I'm like, dang, hold up. Majority of my crew got married in their 30s. I was too young. At that time, I'm looking like I'm not 18, 19, 20. I'm old enough to get married. But then when I reflect, I was like, nah, because I will say this, yes, married and divorced to that person. It didn't work out. And I think there are a couple of lumps I needed to take in the dating world, take just social networking, like, because
Wait, how old were you when you got married?
26. Yeah, 26.
How long did that last?
Oh, it was a long marriage. It was 13 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You think so? You thought you were too young when you really? Because so here's the thing. I haven't heard men, I mean, unless we really dig with men, usually men don't say, I did this because I was young, I did that because I was young, right? Usually that's something women will say, right? That they were young because they don't want to take accountability for what they did. But I hear you saying in a different way, you thought you were too young to get married at the time.
Correct.
You were not out here. Seeing the topic was about them making the poor decisions that they've made in life. Not a good decision like choosing to get married, right? They're out here with some clown messing around or car hopping or, whatever. And then they come back later and say, well, I was young. But you're taking this from a different aspect. I understand what you're saying. Go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
Yeah, because I was coming from more of, at that time, it was the integral aspect. I think church had a lot to do with it, because I'm like, okay, here I am. Yep, cutting up. Here's a kid on the way. It's already Sean looked at a certain way. Okay, I'm finna hold it down, be responsible. But I'm like, dang, it felt great, because I'm like, here I am taking ownership in that aspect. Like when you say accountability from a man in that aspect, like, look, I made this bed, I lied in the bed, and we're gonna lay in it together and have to raise this kid. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So that's the accountability I took. But then I realized I hadn't cultivated my relationship skills yet, because it still was, I'm young, I'm out here, I'm playful. And so that didn't help for the relationship earlier, because I could say it ended at my detriment, because it's the other aspect of accountability, feeling like I missed out. But I'm like, I'm the one who made the decision. So yeah, it's more than a missing out. I surrendered that. I gave it up. Like if I did that, then that's that. But I didn't treat it that way. I felt like, man, yeah, I made a decision, but I still was too young. And I think that's me learning myself. It should have been like, look, you knew you didn't have to get married, but I thought it was the right thing to do. And so I did it. And then after that, as I matured in my just life experiences, I realized that I could have taken my time. There are a lot of pressures I put on myself for doing the right thing.
Was she pregnant before you got married?
Yes, that's the thing. This is all tied in church. So it happened, but it was like
they did that a lot in church. Hold on one second. Thank you, KG, for writing that. You ignorant ass women over here talking about he makes the women show their face. The brother is showing his face. He's over on my YouTube channel. So if you go over there, you can see his face. Okay, my bad, brother. I had to deal with these ignorant ass women.
No, I get it. Look, I don't ever hide. Like all the little avatars, I'm used to a whole bunch of avatars, but I'm cool. I try to cam up when possible out of respect. Now I would say, so that was just a hard lesson to learn, because I went full head of steam, believing that that was the right thing to do. It was, because we had a child that was on the way, but then it wasn't, because the other part of responsibility is, I'm not equipped to be married to you, but I'm equipped to be a father if you give me the chance. And I'll be responsible in that. And I think sometimes as a guy, we wrap both of them together, but it's like, no, if you know that that's not a viable candidate at that point in life, you don't have to wrap them up. But the thing is, by default, that's the accountability you were speaking to from a man, where a man will make that decision, be like, you know what? This person might not even be a viable candidate at this point, but because I'm about to be a father and we're birthing something together, I'll go ahead and be responsible for everything, not understanding that I can still be responsible solely for my child that I birthed and not have to, engage in a full-fledged relationship, which is another responsibility. And you know what? That's something I have to learn. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Because you said, and a lot of us didn't know that, right? A lot of us didn't have the proper train, or a lot of times we just weren't exposed to enough women, right? When you're exposed to more women, you get to see these things, and then you have and combine that with proper teaching. I think for a lot of us, we would say, this is the right woman for me based off of my lifestyle, based off who I am. Because I know who I am, what kind of man I am, and I know what kind of woman is required to be with a man like me. I know what kind of woman she has to be. And I know the type of women that I never would mesh with, right? So then knowing that, you would avoid those kind of women, because you like, oh, well, she's fine, she's bad as hell. But no, you're not going to mesh with her. So if by chance you guys end up doing something and she gets pregnant, it's not going to be good for you, because you're not, more than likely, it's not going to work, because she's not good for you. She's not the right one for you. So I'm saying that because if we would have known, and that's the responsibility factor, right? You still have taken on the responsibility as a man. How many of these women have done that and say, you know what? Even though he's not the best man, I'm going to just go ahead and shut up and be submissive and, just be responsible and be a mother and stick it out instead of going out here and taking them for this or trying to get child support and then running my body count up and all that. How many of them trying to stick it out with that man? How many of them try to make it work? They don't really, a lot of times they don't do that, right? They don't put that responsibility on them to be and say, hey, I'm going to stick it out with this man no matter what and just shut up.
It's the utility aspect. You know, that's the thing. When you become that utility, it's like a toolbox. Hey, this one broke. I'm finna go in there. There's another tool. If it's not the exact same tool, because I had the backup, there's something that's similar that can do almost the same thing, and they'll settle for that as well. And so that's the unfortunate thing about when you think about the dynamic of value of man and woman. Yeah, we can say a woman can be aged out and hit the wall. We hear these expressions, but then we also understand that as long as a woman has a box, there still is an extension of value. It might not be optimal value at the highest level, but it's still some value where some men may be devalued altogether. But it's like, hey, she has a box. We still can have, she may have depreciated to a certain extent, but she's still going to maintain a base level of value from being a woman, especially if she's putting out, where a guy, it's like, yeah, you can do all these things. I'll be stroking all of that. But guess what? Some of them look like, if you're not funneling cash to me, there's no baseline value for me, because they're like, I'm at a different place in life and I can go get this intercourse from anybody else. So now they're looking like you have to provide these specific needs for me to even see you as a candidate. Where a man is like, hey, you got a box. For some guys, that's enough, regardless of everything else that's attached to that box. And they need to send it back to Amazon. But unfortunately, you know what? They open the box, they keep it for 31 days. They had a 30-day return cycle. And then 40 days later, they want to return it. It was like, you're going to have to pay the restocking fee now, because you don't kept it and dealt with it. And so my whole thing is, a guy, I learned one thing, like, if it ain't working, return it as soon as possible. I don't need to play with it any longer and try to see what's going on, because I have a window that I can return it without penalty. And sometimes life will have that, but we don't see it. We hold on to it. Emotions connected, disconnected, a child may happen, and then that's when the penalties come. Sometimes just return it. Hey, if the receipts say you can return within 30 days with no penalties, hey, you ain't got to wait till day 29 to figure it out. Sometimes you know sooner than that and be like, yeah, this ain't going to work. So that's all I'm
You know
really
what?
saying.
That's a great analogy, brother. And you know what? On top of that analogy is, most of the stores, once you done used it, you can't return it.
Store
you
credit.
Stuck with it. or you stuck with it.
Yeah, you stuck with
it. If you can't get store credit or whatever, then you just going to be stuck, and you're going to have to, and now that's a loss, right? And I say that because after you didn't tried it out and put your stuff in her, sometimes it's not going to be that easy to just say, hey, you know what? It was good while it lasted. It didn't work. You know, I'm going to bid you on your way. Nah, bruh. You going to go through some hell. You can go through some drama. I didn't have brothers that have told me that they were paying for women, kids that weren't theirs. They thought that they were theirs for years. And that was all because, like you said, after you didn't use it, you don't know. You at her mercy. She didn't tell you anything. I didn't heard stories of brothers and told me the woman then came back and said, you gave me a STI, STD. You better go. Brothers were scared to death. They never had nothing in their life. They scared to death now because they thinking that they really didn't gave this woman something. And what is she going to do? What is she going to say? Who is she going to report that to? And then what do they have? They scared to go get tested. Well, what is it? What you got? And now she playing mind games and head games when she don't want to tell you what it is. There's too many things that can go wrong. That's why I encourage you, brothers, go where they manufacture wives, but you got to actually you got to have the mind to look for a good woman and a wife. Because you can go to another country and end up messing with street women just like you would in America. It doesn't matter if you leave the country, if you still have the same mindset. Your mindset, you got to be set on finding a good woman that's loyal, honest, loving, sweet, that knows how to take care of a man, that was manufactured this way.
And waiting is okay. I want to add that to it. See, you know, there's this thing where Yes, if you're gonna title me as a playboy, hey, every guy that's been called a playboy, if you know that's what you are, own that title because you understand one thing. I'm gonna be out here having fun. Just be safe when you do it. You don't want to be attached to somebody for life if you don't have to be. Because the real reality is you have to go out here, do what you do, test drive. Waiting is completely acceptable. And when I look at it, I would encourage any young guy like, look, man, it's okay getting married in your 30s. Trust me, you're still plenty young. You know what I'm saying? The pressures on you are not the same pressures on women. 30s, you starting to get in your swag and peak out as far as this is me being an optimal male. I can operate in so many aspects, whether it's from responsibility, you still fit at that age, you've lived life experiences, your mind is sharp. There's no thing. Look, if people get married at 23, 4, 5, 6, that's great. If it works out and you're with that person for a long time, great. But I, as a man, understand that I'm still learning myself throughout my 20s. Rock that thing out, live college, do all of that. And 30s is a good age range for a man to say, okay, now I'm ready to settle down.
Yeah,
If he
because
wants to
then
wait
you
till
gotta
35,
have
I'm
the
the man.
finance for it. You gotta have the money for it. You gotta have the mental maturity. You gotta have a certain type of mindset to be wanting to take on a family, right? To want to take on a wife, to want to have children. You gotta have a certain mind. It's not all about you just saying, hey, I want a woman, right? You gotta have the mind of a man that's ready to be a father and a husband. Brother, you got a YouTube channel?
Definitely. It's at Man-Made Media TV. It's me and my guy, Mr. Life. Look, I like coming on stuff like this because people typically see the banter, playful, energetic side. But me, I feel I'm well nuanced just in every aspect of life. Married, divorced, college educated, like graduated, all of that. Like just just the appeal to guys everywhere. So when I see you like this here, look, I can see you like this and you don't fool me, Guru. You will not trick me because tomorrow I can pull up and see you in some Jordan shorts, sneakers, getting it in with your homies, and the next day you're back in the suit. And so I think sometimes we get discredited as men as the nuance we have, the adaptability. If I would, because I will say, leave with this too. Please, women, look for a guy that's adaptable. That's one of the greatest traits you can get from a man. I mean, you can take them anywhere. Your families, a board meeting, church. Those guys who understand that and have that distinction, they're not a chameleon. All they're doing is pulling out different layers of themselves because you're giving them an opportunity to do, and they can be whatever you need to be in any situation. What happens is you get caught up with the bad guy and he only has this one role and you get pissed off at him because he can't play a new role. Like his script has already been written. This is what it is in the movie. He going to be the bad guy from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. But when I see somebody like Guru, I know he has versatility and that's why he can operate like this in this platform and have distinction. So I respect that. So that's just me showing you love in that regard. But it's at Man-Made Media TV. Figuring Ish Out is the Thursday show. My guy, Mr. Life, on the same platform. He does a Monday show where he caters to relationships. He may talk finance. He does a cologne review. I do a drink review, as you can see with the bottles back here. At Man-Made Media TV. I can drop it in the comments later.
Drop it in the comments for us, brother. I appreciate you for doing that. Drop it in the comments, definitely. Appreciate you. I'm getting ready to wrap up the show here soon, but thank you so much, my brother, for coming on. Always.
Thanks for having
me. Come back
me.
anytime. Yeah. Salute to you.
Have a great one.
All right. Thank you, brother. Folks, I'm getting ready to wrap this stream up for tonight, and I'll come back with a better a fire topic tomorrow that more of these women actually want to talk about. It's amazing to me that a lot of these women have no problem talking about when it comes to just the superficial. It's another lack of maturity that they have, that y'all have as women. The fact that y'all don't want to talk about more serious topics. They love to talk about playful stuff or stuff that has to do with their outfits, their hair, and all that. When I do the topic about the hair, all these women want to come up. I want to talk to Guru. He holding a topic about hair. He holding the topic about nails. Thank you, brother. I got you right here. I see you, Man-Made Man-Made Media TV. Salute to and shout out to you. But they love to talk about this type of stuff. They don't want to talk about what's actually affecting them, what actually is causing damage to their life, to their children. Hell, the hair is causing a lot of damage to them too. And the makeup and all that other stuff is damaging them too. Exactly, Mrs. Gale. If it's about how they're raising their children, it's crickets. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. If you're talking to them about how they're raising their children, it's crickets. They don't want to talk about that, which tells you a lot, which is why I'm telling the men, and I got plenty of women, decent women that agree with me on this, great women. They say, yeah, y'all brothers need to find women outside of America. And if you're in the UK too, the women are maybe worse. I got a lot of brothers that follow me in the UK. The women might be worse that are in the UK. You can't go to London either. You're going to have to go to the outskirts. You're going to have to avoid the city girls. You're going to have to find, sometimes I try to find streams or content of women that live somewhere and still do farming or something like this. Small villages, small towns, small town women. Come on now. This is what you got to be looking for. LaTanya said, you're sad how black men are feeling. Why would you be sad about how black men are feeling, LaTanya? We don't see any hope with the women out here. We don't. Y'all don't make wives. Y'all don't make good long-term partners. Trustworthy. You guys don't make that anymore. That was a long time ago. There used to be a community of farm type girls, small town type women that were in the black community. Y'all have all turned into city girls. Come on now. Come on, Guru. The small town farm girl have turned into the city girl. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey, you're talking about these women and they're worried about such trivial things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like fashion and whatnot. Well, why are you all dressed up for a YouTube video then? You dress like you're going to church. You're hosting a show on YouTube with less than 100 viewers.
Well, get up off of here. You know, some people are just ignorant as hell. Just ignorant. Why are you all dressed up for a YouTube show? Just ignorant, just stupid. You worried about the wrong damn thing. Jazzy, I've been on for a while. I'm getting ready to end the stream. Folks, if you missed any of this stream, go back and re-watch it on replay. I'm actually really out of energy for tonight. I didn't even really want to stream tonight. I'm out of energy for tonight. I've done so much today. I'm about to go give me some good rest. But thank you to everybody that joined, donated, supported the platform, sent a cash app, sent a super chat. It's the only way I'm able to keep the content going and keep it alive is through your continued support. LaTanya says, I watch a lot of black men content. It's opened my eyes. It should open your eyes. Even some of the dudes out here that, you know, that have become a part of the streets, they don't really want this type of behavior and stuff. They don't want this. They see it too. But because they're so addicted to that type of life and addicted to some coochie, they just deal with it. If they had the discipline of a man like me, they wouldn't deal with it. They just don't have the discipline. They don't have proper guidance. They're sick of it too. They just need guidance and discipline. And if they were able to get that, then there wouldn't be no men for the women in the community to screw. And they would have to change. If y'all haven't figured it out, this is another reason why. Let me tell y'all that. There's another reason why it's not a good idea to be with these women, right? Because they produce more and more men they want to that are going to be like that. That gives them somebody to screw. They want to keep making those kind of men, because if they make more men that are like me, they're not going to screw these women. They're not going to be with them. They're going to leave them alone. They're going to have discipline. They want to raise up undisciplined men. Y'all realize that? They speak against their own interest. They want to raise up undisciplined men. That's their goal. They don't want disciplined men. They lie. They lie all the time about that. The disciplined man ain't gonna fool with them. All right, folks. Have a great night. Salute to you all. Thank you so much, everybody that tuned in, and a special shout out to everybody that supported. Until next time, hopefully I'll be back with another stream tomorrow. Have a good night.